How to buy a house. If you're a first-time buyer, this video is going to break down step by step how you can succeed in buying your first home. My name's Darren Tsai. I'm a licensed real estate agent and loan officer in California. My channel is dedicated to helping people build wealth through real estate education. Before I share how to buy a house, I need to say, make sure buying a house aligns with you and your family's long-term financial goals. So we're going to start this video with a quick summary of the 4 stages in the home buying journey. Then I'm going to dive into each stage in a little more detail. Okay, so now let's start with stage 1, strategy. In the strategy stage, the first thing that you're going to do is make the decision that you want to be a homeowner and commit to that decision. The main objective of stage 1 strategy is to get ready for stage 2, search. In stage 2 search, the main objective is to find your home. You're going to actually start to look at homes and really narrow down what you need in a home. And you're also going to start making offers on homes, which leads us right into stage 3, the contract stage. This is where you're going to negotiate and finalize the purchase of your new home. So here's some things that you'll be doing in stage 3. Schedule an inspection, get an appraisal on the home, negotiate contingencies, and finalize your financing. Once all those steps are done, that leads you straight into the last stage, stage 4, which is closing. This means you get to move into your new home. And from a high level, what you're going to be doing is planning your moving logistics, performing a final walkthrough on your home, and complete the closing process. Now, this is just a summary of the home buying journey. If you prefer to read this information at your own pace, I've actually created a PDF of this video with all the details. And so if you want a copy of that, there's actually a link in the description below. Now that I've gone over the high level home buying journey, let's start with the basics of real estate. So there are 3 major agreements that govern any real estate transaction. The first is the listing agreement. A listing agreement is between a seller and an agent, and it has an agent represent the seller in the sale of their home. The next agreement is a buyer agreement. This is between a buyer and an agent, and it just has an agent representing the buyer in a purchase of a property. And last but not least, we have the purchase agreement, also known as an offer. And the purchase agreement is between the buyer and the seller, and it outlines the agreed upon terms of the property sale. So this will include the purchase price, contingencies, and other closing details. Now that we've covered these basic contracts, let's talk about the 4 stages of home buying. Phase number 1, strategy. This is where you're coming up with your game plan and getting ready for phase 2, search. As a kid, one of my favorite sayings that I heard was, proper planning and prevention prevents piss poor performance. Like all things in life, if you don't take the time to adequately prepare, then you're essentially setting yourself up for failure. And home buying is no different. And so in this strategy phase, the first 2 things that I want you to do are number 1, make the decision to become a homeowner. And that doesn't mean you have to become a homeowner next month or even the next 3 months. Most people that I talk to don't buy a home for at least 9 months to over 2 years since the first time I talked to them. But they made the decision that they are going to become a homeowner and committed to that decision. 9 months or 2 years away, that's totally okay. The next thing in the strategy phase is get educated. And if you're watching this video, that means you're already on that path. So great work. So a part of getting educated does include arranging your financing. A quick stat, so around 74% of home buyers in 2024 bought using financing. So they got a loan to buy their property. Now, if you're someone that's buying with cash, congratulations, you've done something amazing. You got some cash, kudos to you. But for the majority, make sure you get your financing arranged ahead of time. And how are you going to do that? Reach out to a licensed mortgage professional to help you determine your purchasing power and figure out what's a comfortable monthly payment for you. If you don't know how to find one, you can just email me. After you've gone through these steps of making the decision and committing to it, getting educated, arranging your financing, and that leads me right into the search phase. The main objective here is to find a new home and make offers. And a big fear and pain point that I've had with some clients is that they're looking for a needle in a haystack. And so the way to avoid this is in your search, be super specific on what your needs are. And obviously there's going to be some wants, right? So if you find a home that has all your needs and has some wants, that's a huge bonus. But for the most part, if you find the home that has all the needs, go ahead, make an offer on it. I'm going to share 2 examples of past clients that had a great search experience and a not so good search experience. We'll start with the not so good search experience. My clients started with a small list of needs, and that list kept growing and growing and growing, and they kept changing their criteria in the search phase. This led to us looking at over 60 homes, eating up most of their nights and weekends, and they were starting to get some fatigue in looking at homes. Eventually, we found the right property. They got a great deal. They were super happy, but the search phase was painful for them. So my other client who had a great search experience was super specific in what she was looking for. We looked at 3 homes the first weekend, and we got one under contract that week. Eventually, as we went through our inspection contingency, which I'll talk about later in the video, we decided that that property would not be a good fit for her long term due to the HOA, but I'll share the details later. After we canceled that first contract, she looked at 5 more total homes and she found her dream home. If there's anything that I can have you take away from the search phase, it's that you have the opportunity to define what you need in a home. And if a home doesn't have those things, don't waste your time looking at it. But if a home has all of your needs, write an offer. And going back to the real estate 101, writing an offer means submitting a purchase agreement to the seller. And this leads me straight into phase number 3, the contract phase. What happens in phase 3, the contract phase, is that you're going to negotiate and finalize the purchase. So once your offer has been accepted, you enter into escrow. And escrow is when you'll do these things: schedule your inspection, submit an earnest money deposit, get an appraisal, finalize your financing, and negotiate your contingencies. First thing is scheduling your inspection. Now this is super, super important. Make sure you get a thorough home inspection so you don't have any major unforeseen costs down the road. And on top of that, a home inspection might give you some negotiating power. The second thing you're going to do is submit an earnest money deposit. That's typically 1 to 3% of the purchase price. An earnest money deposit is money that you as the home buyer pays up front to show that you are serious about buying this home. And don't worry, this earnest money deposit is applied to your down payment at the close of escrow. Or it gets refunded if the deal falls through for a valid reason and you're within your contingency periods. Third thing you're doing in this phase, ordering an appraisal. Now, if you're buying cash, this doesn't apply to you. Congratulations. But for the majority of us, we're getting loans to buy these properties. Your lender will likely require an appraisal to make sure you're paying a fair value for this property. They also want to make sure the house is worth enough to cover the loan if you can't pay it back. But we both know that that's not going to be an issue for you. Overall, the appraisal is going to protect you from overpaying and the lender from potentially losing money. And a part of getting appraisal is actually finalizing your financing. So your lending team is going to finalize your loan after your offer has been accepted. They're going to be asking for a couple more things related to the property, like home insurance, HOA documents if necessary, title, and they're going to be verifying your employment as well. Another part of phase 3 is negotiating your contingencies. And you might be wondering, what are these contingencies? What does this mean? These contingencies allow buyers to have 3 outs of the contract. And what that means is you as the buyer can cancel the contract and still receive your earnest money deposit back if you have a valid reason. And so let's talk about these 3 contingencies. The first is inspection contingency. Let's take, for example, something comes back on your home inspection report, like the roof is completely shoddy. You need a new roof. It's going to cost $20,000. And you and the seller can't come to an agreement on if they're going to fix it, if they're going to give you money for it. And this is a deal breaker for you. You don't want to buy the house anymore. Cool. You go ahead and you can cancel the contract because of that roof, as long as you still have your inspection contingency in place. Another one, this is the story from earlier. My client, she got into a condo and we got the HOA documents back. And the HOA was not managed very well. They had a lot of big ticket items that were coming up. They had recently raised their monthly HOA fees. And because of this mismanagement and long-term fees, HOA fees just piling up, we thought long-term, this does not make a lot of sense. Every year, she's going to keep getting increased HOA fees. The sellers actually offered to pay for 2 years of HOA fees, but we still decided no, thank you. And she got her deposit back because this was within our inspection contingency period. The next contingency is the loan contingency. And this just says if for a valid reason you cannot finalize your loan, you can cancel the contract and still get your deposit back. An example of this would be someone losing their job in escrow. Now, obviously that's a really sad scenario, but that has happened. And at the very least, that person's getting their earnest money deposit back and they can cancel the contract, no problem. So the third is the appraisal contingency. And the appraisal contingency basically states that if the property appraises for less than the value of that purchase contract, the buyer can walk away and still receive their earnest money deposit. Now, I'm going to share a story of a client who purchased a home, who was under contract for a home for $540,000, and the appraisal came back at $500,000. So there was a $40,000 difference. And at the end of the day, they stuck to it. They didn't want to negotiate with the seller, and the seller ended up actually just lowering the price to match that $500,000. So it's really important to understand all three of these contingencies and really understand how they can help protect you when you're buying a home. On top of that, they can be used as tools to help you submit a winning offer. Okay, so now that we've gone through phase 3, the contract phase, you've completed everything in phase 3, the most exciting phase, closing. And this means you get to move into your new home. Here's what you're gonna do in phase 4. You're gonna plan your moving logistics, right? Make sure your lease, if you have one, ends at an appropriate time with getting keys to your new home. If you need to take time off to move, or you're gonna book some movers, go ahead and do that in this phase. You're also gonna perform a final walkthrough. So you're just gonna walk through the property, make sure you're getting the property in the condition it was agreed upon, and make sure the sellers moved all their stuff out. And finally, you're gonna just complete the closing. So you're gonna send your remaining down payment and closing costs. You're gonna sign some loan documents. And once that's all wrapped up, you're gonna get keys to your new home. And that concludes the home buying journey in 4 stages. So now that we've gone through it, do me a huge favor. And if you've learned something, drop a comment and share what you learned. And if you wanna keep learning, I write a weekly email dropping some gems about home buying. And you can just sign up for that in the link in my description. And so now that you've signed up for those weekly emails, I'm gonna just share a quick recap of the 4 stages in home buying. Phase 1, strategy. The main goal here is to make the decision and commit, get educated, and get ready for your search. Stage 2 is search. Find your home and write offers. Narrow down what you're looking for in a home, tour some homes, verify that's what you need, and start writing offers on those homes with everything that you need. Stage 3 is the contract stage. Right? You're going to negotiate and finalize your purchase, schedule a home inspection, get an appraisal, negotiate contingencies, finalize your financing. And once all that stuff's done, that gets you into stage 4, the most exciting one, closing. You get to move into your home, right? Start planning those moving logistics, perform your final walkthrough, and complete the closing. If you want to dive deeper and get an unfair advantage when buying a home, in this other video that I made, I share some data and some different strategies that will help you get a deal when you buy your house. So go ahead, here's the link to it. As always, thanks for watching my videos, and I truly hope these videos are helping you in your home buying journey. Also, if you have any questions, I'm just one email away.